Hello, everyone. My name is Mallory Harwood, and I am a product marketing manager at Microsoft Advertising. And I'm here today to do a quick overview of native ads as part of our holistic native advertising video series. So if you are looking to understand a little bit more about why native advertising is so effective, you have come to the right place today. So let's get into it. So first, before we dig into the why of why native is so effective and why it's an important piece of your marketing mix, let's first back up and talk about, well, what actually is native advertising anyway? So for a brief overview of what is native advertising, aptly named, are really native to the environment in which they appear. And so they're a lot more contextual than the traditional display and banner ads. As you can see here, native advertising are really information-rich sponsored ads that match the look and feel of the page on which it appears. And so on the right here, you can see some examples of how these ads appear, and they're really integrated into a publisher's site. So whether it's across news, content pages, articles, mail, apps, and more, they're really blending into the user experience. And because of this, we know that native ads are non-disruptive. So that really allows you to get your brand in front of your target audience as they're naturally engaging with content. So they're checking their mail, they're looking up news, they're shopping online, and your advertising will appear to them as non-disruptive. And because we're blending into the environment, the overall goal is to display in a cohesive manner to blend in with the editorial content, which ultimately results in greater engagement for you. And so that's really why we see that native advertising is a solution that results in greater performance. So now that we have a little bit of an overview of what native advertising is, let's really see how it results in greater engagement. And so digging into why should native advertising be an important piece of your media strategy? Well, it's something that is going to impact your funnel from a full funnel approach. So we see native advertising as effective all the way up from awareness to consideration and ultimately to conversion. So when we looked at research, we saw that native advertising resulted in 53% more views than traditional display ads. So really being able to get your brand out there, to be able to create awareness and to feed the funnel from the top. We also saw that native advertising impacted consideration. So we saw an 8.8 times higher click-through rate versus traditional display ads. So we know when users are going online, they're engaging with content, they see your ad that's blended into the core experience, they are much more likely to actually engage and click on your ad. And finally here, we also know that this impacts conversion. So this research showed us that we saw a 29% higher purchase intent on native advertising as compared to standard display ads. So a huge increase in purchase intent, which ultimately results in more conversions for you. Now, when we looked at our own solution, we also saw these same results. And to back up a little bit, Microsoft has built our own native offering, which we call the Microsoft Audience Network. This network empowers you to reach millions of people across devices through high-quality native placements throughout the Microsoft network on sites like MSN, Outlook, Edge, and on select premium publishers as well. Our network is comprised of brand-safe environments with massive reach, and it's completely powered by audiences, which is why it's called the Microsoft Audience Network. Through our audience intelligence, we are helping to make native ads even more relevant. And so with all of this data that we have on our users and their intent signals, this means that we have even better performance across each stage of the funnel. So again, when we looked into our own Microsoft results, we saw these results across the full funnel. So users who were exposed to a Microsoft Audience Network native ad were 2.2 times more likely to actually go and search for your brand. So increasing the awareness for your brand. We also saw that users were 4.8 times more likely to engage and to visit your site, increasing consideration for your brand. And finally, we saw that users were 4.4 times more likely to ultimately purchase your products or services, resulting in more conversions for your brand. So again, we see that native advertising all up is a powerful force to impact your funnel all the way from the top and increase conversions at the bottom as well. And we also saw this same impact when we looked at our own native performance across the Microsoft Audience Network as well. So with all of that, we hope this was a quick and good overview of why native, and stay tuned for more from this series on native advertising. If you want to learn more about native advertising on the Microsoft Audience Network, you can visit microsoftadvertising.com/native. Thanks, everyone.